Hiya folks, you're very welcome along to John's Garage this week. This week we are in for a real treat with this original early 1980s Mini City. It's a massive deal for us folks here in John's Garage that we're getting to see this car. This car normally never leaves storage. It is, and when I say this, it's a proper time capsule from the early 80s, okay? Really, thank you very much and extreme gratitude to the owner for taking this car out. Unfortunately, the day we were filming, there was thunder showers just a couple of weeks before Christmas and the car got drowned. But, and I really mean this, it had been years since this car had been rained on. It is kept in storage, it's kept mint, it rarely ever gets out. It's very, very rare to see this car in public, so it's a real treat that I got to film this car and got to sit in this car and take it for a short drive. Now, unfortunately, because of COVID at the time, because my camera person was unfortunately suffering with COVID, I wasn't able to record the drive of the car, but we can get to see around the car. And when I say this thing is factory fresh, I literally mean it is factory fresh. And you will understand that. It's got all the original touches like the first National Building Society and so on and so forth. But when you see under the bonnet, I'm lifting up the bonnet here, and you look around here, you will understand what I mean by mint. See that water bottle? It's like new. Everything about this engine is like new. Even more impressive, and people who are familiar with Minis going back years, even more impressive about this, it doesn't even have an oil leak. These things leaked oil from the factory, so the fact that this one isn't leaking is nothing short of a miracle. All the stickers are present. All the stickers are lovely and clear and crisp, like the Unipart stickers and all that, and little warning labels. Everything in this car is original as it left the factory and perfectly new, perfectly serviceable. You can see when I stand back in just a sec, you'll see the lovely packaging under the bonnet here, the radiator off to the side, the air fed in around that front left wheel, the Unipart do not drain universal antifreeze in here. Little bit of a weep there at some stage, but it's perfect. The engine, of course, transversely mounted. The gearbox is in underneath in the sump. And for anyone who is familiar with these cars and drove them back in the day, you know what that sound is going to be like when you're driving this from that gearbox in the sump. There's a whine, a really distinctive whine to these, but it's special. It adds to the whole experience of driving this tiny little car. Again, the warning labels are all there, British standards, so no EU or anything like that. Proper little Brexit car for people who like that kind of stuff. Of course, this was a slightly facelifted Mini, so you had the different badges, the Austin Rover logo down on the grille, and one or two other little touches inside to upgrade it, and a couple of stickers, the E sticker and the City sticker on the back of on the sides of the car. And I'm sure there's going to be a couple of anoraks there typing in the comments going, you didn't say about this being in the interior, and I probably didn't. You have the black wipers as well, black mirrors. Of course, they're trying to update the car, make it look a little bit newer, so they're removing some of the chrome parts. Of course, that Mini badge there in the back in capital letters, this is a Mini. Boot, open it up, very rustic. Everything is exposed, including that big petrol tank there on the left-hand side. So if you're rear-ended in this car, you better hope you have a quick exit out of it if it's bad. The tire there as well. Lovely little covering on the battery as well to protect your stuff. And of course, all your little toolkit there in that bag. I can't say for 100% if that bag is original. Maybe somebody could let me know in the comments. And this was the contents of the bag anyway. We had our jack, we had of course all the different tools that you're going to need, and everything unused as new. And I'll go so far as saying even those tires on the car are original. Now, the amazing thing about this car, and you're going to see it when I open it up inside, is the mileage. And this is what I say when this car is rarely ever out, it's rarely ever seen, and it's a proper time capsule with that lovely little flick switch there to lock the doors, and you have your lever there to open them, and of course your keep fit windows, which were the rigor standard across the range at the time. But when you get in and you have a little look at that speedo, in a moment, you're going to see that the mileage is just a shade over, and wait for this, folks, 8,900 miles from new. Okay, so this was owned by a lady. It's a Wicklow Reg, originally a Wicklow Reg, but it was owned by a lady local to me. Let's have a little look at that mileage. 8,969.9 miles, all original. It was owned by a local lady to me. The current owner bought it from her. I'm not exactly sure when that purchase happens, 4-speed manual. but they've basically kept it in storage. They've kept it dry. They have kept it perfect. I did hear a little story as well from a previous employee of the current owners that one day they were at work. It started raining outside. Everybody was told drop tools, bring the Mini in, little pull switch under the seat there to tilt it forward for rear axis. But they were told to drop tools, bring the car in, and everybody was to chamois every single part of it clean. Little ashtray there between the seats. Of course, for your kids, if they're having a cigarette back in the day to relax, that's what would have been going on. But that seat material in this car is really, really fresh. Storage bins to the side of the seats. Actually, it's really impressive, the amount of space in this car. And I genuinely mean it. I've driven a Fiat 500, a newer Fiat 500 recently. And sitting into this and being in it, it was actually just as spacious as the Fiat. It was really impressive, the packaging, even for the 1950s, late 50s when it was designed. And of course, it was barely or only slightly updated thereafter. The Austin Rover steering wheel, of course, rear fog light, a little later edition blower fan. No radio, who needs that? You're driving something fun, just concentrate on the driving and love it. That's it. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous car. Passenger side, of course, just as clean. The original owner had put that sheepskin effect cover on the seat to protect it. As they used to say back in the day, they want to keep it nice for the next owner. There's, of course, an ashtray there in the dashboard as well for the driver and front seat passenger, or if you're carrying kids up front, they can have a cigarette as well and not stain the interior. Part vinyl. I'm not even going to say it's leather, it's vinyl and material seats in lovely condition. Roof lining was lovely. This car was just such a cute little car. I actually quite like the colour. It's nice and different. Lovely little E logo on the back as well. Great crack driving this car. It drives like new, but on those slightly older tyres, I was kind of just a little bit nervous, but they are the original tyres. This car is really original and it's an absolute credit to the owner. And as I say, it was just a massive, massive opportunity for us to see this car, which normally isn't out in public or seen in public. And as I say, apologies to the owner. I couldn't control the weather on the day, and unfortunately it rained. But this car, when I say it is flawless, it is flawless. There is no bubble anywhere. I also talked to somebody who's done work in this car, servicing it previously in the past, and they said, you think on top is nice? Underneath is just as good, if not better. Okay, underneath is just as good, if not better. There is no rust anywhere in this car. It is unbelievably fresh. I couldn't get over it. Lovely to drive, lovely and tight, great condition. And listen, folks, with that, again, thank you very much for watching John's Garage. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Great to see you, folks. Thank you very much.